Today we are going to understand the center of Ádžňa. Ádžňa chakra, which is placed on the crossing of the optic chiasma. The nerves that supply the eyes go backwards in the opposite direction, and wherever they cross, this subtle center is situated. It has a continuous connection with the other center through the medulla oblongata. This center has got two petals, and this subtle center on one side acts through the eyes, and at the back of the head where you have some protrusion. This is the physical side of this center is. Now the people who talk of the third eye, this is the third eye. So that we have two eyes with which we see, and there's a third eye which is a subtler eye through which we can see. If you see this eye, that means you are away from it. For example, if you can see your eyes, that means you are seeing your reflection, not the reality. If you see anything, that means you are looking at it. So those people who say they see an eye, for example, people who take LSD and all such things, they start seeing another eye. They just see this eye and they think their third eye has opened. Actually, you are very much away from the eye. That's why you can see it. You go to a supraconscious level on the right side, and on the left side to the subconscious level, you can see the eye. But in Sahaja Yoga, you have to see through that eye. Like a window, you can look at the window, but if you see through the window, you can't look at the window. So this illusion that people have that we can see third eye, and that's why whoever Kundalini is awakened, they are sadly mistaken. This is a very narrow passage through which attention cannot pass normally. It's an impossible thing. It's a very narrow passage where the ego and superego fit onto each other and cross each other just like this. And there is no gap in between for the Kundalini to pass. This superego and ego go downward and come to the Vishuddhi chakra and circle round it and go in the same direction. So you find that they come up to this place, they start from this place, go up to the Ádžňa chakra, and then they cross over. But here they are in the same direction as they were. Here they cross over. So when you have a problem on the left hand side, you get the effects of that on the right hand side. But the right hand starts from here up to this side, and the left hand starts, say, from here to here. But the left hand actually acts on the right hand side. So if you have any problem on the left hand side, have you got anything to give me? No, I think they must be having, somebody might be having something, talking too much. No, he has got it something here. I've been talking. क्या है? स्टेप्सिल में नहीं लेती? स्टेप्सिल है?
ये वो ये मतलब
विक्स हाँ विक्स
विक्स का
विक्स और that one will do that's all. What is it? हाँ? हाँ that's all. अरे one will do आप सब ही देने.
आयुर्वेदिक
ये क्या है? एक छोटा सा दीजिएगा बस चाहिए बस thank you. That's all. That's more than because I have been using my throat bit too much and today it was rather cold there, very cold. So this third eye is to be penetrated through, or we have to enter into the third eye through Kundalini awakening. But it is such a closed passage, it is the door to the limbic area which is the kingdom of God. That anybody who tries to push their attention through this closed door either goes to the left or to the right. And this is the beginning of the trouble of the people when they don't understand that whatever is unknown is not God, is not divine. So, when they move on the right side, they go to the supraconscious area. And they start seeing hallucinations. Actually, these are not hallucinations but actual things because they exist on the right hand side. So they start seeing things of the right hand side. They may see colors and the formation of colors, and they may see also people who are dead, who have been very egoistical. They can see Gandharvas and Kinnaras because they go to the Gandharva lok, to the right side, and start seeing those things in the unknown awareness of supraconsciousness. But that movement is very dangerous. Because if anybody catches you there, then you get an added personality sitting on your head. And you get possessed by ego. And you become on your own and you actually become malignant. Hitler is one of the examples of that. He learned this from the Tibetan lamas, how to go to the supraconscious. And when he learnt it from them, he used it and made many people supraconscious, ego-oriented. You must have heard about the lama system, which was another big problem, was to they knew who is going, the future part, who is going to be the next lama, where you will find him, where you will get him. All the future things they knew, and people thought this was divine. To know future is not divine. It's an area which we should never go to because it's an imbalance. We are human beings and we have to know the present and not the future. Once you go through the present stage, then you reach a height from where you can see the past, the present and the future. Supposing on the Mother Earth, if you have a means of going higher and hang yourself there, then you can see whatever has passed through, and you can also see what is going to come, and wherever you are in the present. In the same way, when a person ascends, in reality, in the present, he goes at this point in the super consciousness from where he sees his supraconscious right side, and also he can see He is subconscious, but he has no interest. He wants to rise in the present. And this is what actually the Kundalini awakening is. So all those people who say that Kundalini, in the awakening of the Kundalini, it is very difficult and it is harmful, are the people who have no right to awaken the Kundalini. So when they try to play tricks, actually the sympathetic nervous system goes into great agitation. And this sympathetic system on the left and right side start extracting more energy from the central part. So much so that it gets exhausted and such a person becomes actually a mental wreck. So many people who said that we are raising your Kundalini by this method or that method wreck the life of the sadhakas. Ultimately they are left high and dry without achieving anything. Nobody knows what to achieve and what to receive. So they are misled. But logically, one must understand that at least your health should be all right. Mentally you should be better off. Your temperament has to improve minimum of minimum. But if you are losing all your money to the Guru, you are losing all your health for these nonsensical experiences, and you have no control over yourself, then you must know that this is not in any way the reality. Reality is where you are in control. If you are in the control of something else, then you are a lost case. For example, some people start jumping and they say, Mother, I start jumping automatically. That's a serious affair. That means you have no control over yourself. You are just jumping because somebody is making you jump. You are not jumping. That means your own chetana, your own attention, your own awareness is under the control of somebody else. You cannot control yourself. So all these experiences in which people think they are flying in the air or they are having a, I don't know what they call in English language, extraterrestrial movement, and people are going in the air and seeing things. All these are very dangerous things. Such a person may ultimately become a lunatic. Absolutely. Because he loses complete control over himself. These are called as parapsychological experiments in America. Give it a big name, parapsychology. Of course it is para because it is beyond the psyche of a person, but it's very dangerous. You are not supposed to get into these muddles where the spirits capture you and you start behaving in a manner that you can't explain. Once, about I think 5-6 years back, or maybe more, no, about 12 years back, a group of Americans came to see me and they told me that you must teach us how to fly in the air. I said, why aren't you flying? They said, no, we want to have that space travel. I said, why? Because Americans are doing experiments parapsychology and we want to do the same. I said, they'll all get possessed and they will finish off. I do want to do the same thing as Russians are doing. If they come to me, I'll tell them the same thing. So they said, no, we must learn. I said, if I tell you that you become slaves of those spirits and then you cannot do anything of your own and you start shaking your body all the time, despite that they said, yes, we must do it. And when they told me that because Russians are doing it, we want to do it, I said, who sent you here? So they told me a name of a gentleman who is a journalist in Bombay. I said, this fellow used to suffer from this trouble. He used to leave his body, go into another world, see this and see that, who suffered so much and he was losing complete control over himself, and I cured him. So does he think I can put back the disease in you? I cured him of this disease, and why do you want to get into this disease? But they were quite sure that they wanted it. And I discovered later on they are having this parapsychology business in America, which is an extremely dangerous thing. So this is the movement, not crossing the Agya, but moving, floating on the left or the right, whether you go to the subconscious or to the supraconscious. Effects may be different, but it's the same thing to Sahaja Yoga. The people who go to the subconscious area may start seeing me also in different forms. Like the people who take LSD, they can't see me, they just see lights coming out of me. And those who go to the to the subconscious area, they start seeing forms and things in such a manner that they think they have reached heavens. But they are seeing the past of evolution, past of everything. So this supraconscious business is very dangerous, no doubt, but also the subconscious is very dangerous, because all incurable diseases like cancer, mellitus and all that come from the movement of the attention to the left side. So one should be very careful before going to any one of these tantrikas or to these people who are trying to control you or trying to tell you something about the future or the past. There is no need to know about the future or the past. What is the need? How does it help? Actually, if I start telling you how I came all the way from there and how I was held by the jam or anything, will you be interested? How do you get interested in your past glory or past life which was of no value at all today? But it is a human weakness that he wants to add to his personality something that is extremely artificial, non-existent and of no value. And then he says that, yeah, I did this, I happened to do this, I never got it. In India, people normally go more to the left side with this Agya because they say worship God. Now if they have to worship God, they have no connection with God. See, now I had no connection here. I could not speak to you. So without connection to God, they start worshipping God. Then they'll sing all kinds of artis, fasting, this, torturing their own lives, these left-sided people. And singing the praise, all these things, going to the extreme, 24 hours they are like that. So, somebody sucks them into the left side. If they go on saying Rama, 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 Rama like that, I might say that Valmiki was told to say, but who told him? Was Narada. Narada is an incarnation. Narada, you are not Narada. So how can you tell yourself, or anybody can tell you, take this name? You take any name. You cannot go to God. So where do you go? You go somewhere. There may be a servant called Rama. He might capture you. And people start behaving in such a funny manner that they look like mad, insipid people. Same thing about supraconscious. People who are very ambitious, they too can get into such a mad condition where they do not think of the collectivity of the whole, but they just start thinking about themselves. And when such a situation comes in, it's impossible to convince them that they are wrong till they reach their Waterloo and finish off. So this Agya chakra is a gate, is the door of heaven. And everyone has to pass through it.